watch Survivor, and when the show ends, you really want to talk about it with like-minded friends. It might be hard to find some, but don't you shed a tear. Check out the Purple Rock Podcast, and this is what you'll hear. John will make some dumb jokes, and he likes to yell and curse, and if they're not available, the backup hosts are so much worse. Spend the whole time being jerks, telling you you're wrong, and so we got this other jerk to sing you our theme song. It's the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast.
Welcome to the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast. I am John, and this week we are talking Survivor 47, Episode 6. We are going to be talking about an egotistical blowhard that just talks over people and thinks everyone cares about his opinion. And thus, I brought in Andy as a subject matter expert in this field. Andy, I feel like you're going to just offer up some really keen insights that the audience is going to want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I also dream of one day being in the host seat, I guess.
Do you? I wonder, would you ever, if Probst is like, man, you know what? I really want to give a small time podcaster this gig. And especially like a Canadian.
Yeah, no, I'm out. I meant the host of this show.
Oh, shit. I mean, that's aiming a little smaller, you know?
Yeah, and also complete bullshit. There's a reason we structure it the way it is. It's not because you're the star. It's because I hate hosting. And whenever you're gone, it's like, I got to pretend like I care about what the other person's opinion is.
It is a very specific role, I admit. Yeah, see, and here I'm thinking like, oh, wow, you really want to host Survivor? No, you wouldn't.
No. See, you're like the quarterback of the show, and that sounds exciting, but like not one of those quarterbacks that gets to throw a lot. You know,
I'm a game manager.
Yeah, your job is to hand the ball off.
That's right. We've got a star running back. Just keep stuffing the ball into his stomach. There you go, buddy. Hit that line.
As people would often say, I am the Michael Jordan and you're the Kirk Heinrich.
Yes, that is a totally apt analogy. Do you know that Heinrich was just dishing them dimes to Jordan all the time? That was
yeah, I know. It's like, what? You're mixing eras, man.
I know. It was bad. Hey, how did you like this episode?
This is why we do this, right? This is why we've been watching for 47 years or 47 seasons, I guess. Jesus Christ. I haven't even been alive for 47 years until Sunday.
Oh shit!
Yeah, why
Happy
we've
birthday.
Well, you know, it's not yet. I guess don't want to count them chickens.
I mean, I'll forget by then, so I may as well say it now.
Absolutely, fresh now, fresh later. This is why we've been podcasting about it for like 11 or so.
Whatever.
The show can do things that other shows can't do, in part because it's not scripted. So when it has stuff like last night, it feels so much better because it's like, oh my God, is this really going to happen? Is this the way it is? So to summarize, I enjoyed the hell out of that episode. How about yourself?
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. And I think it shows that you don't need for it to be like a suspenseful or dramatic or, you know, like a big episode for it just to be fun. Like that shit was just enjoyable to watch. I mean, it was telegraphed all over the place, and it was still fun to watch it go down.
Yeah, I think my wife was not like concerned, like he's going to get out of it because he has before. And I'm like, so she wasn't enjoying some of the antics as much. And I'm like, no. He's going home.
Right.
I have no doubt. So sit back and enjoy it. And yeah, so they didn't obscure that at all. They underlined many times that everybody, and obviously, like these episodes are long enough that it feels like there's time for the other shoe to drop. But I'm like, I don't think there's another shoe, and I was just loving it. So yeah, it was the right call for the show to let us know what was going to happen, what is happening, and they weren't tricking us at all.
Yeah, and I think, you know, realistically, I don't know how much you could have obscured the results because it was pretty clearly everyone against Rome. But at the same time, I guess
you just like when he goes around, and I'm sorry I've interrupted.
No, you're good, dude. I include the audience in that this was coming. So
yeah, and he's doing like his Saul plan.
Yeah,
you make us believe it's real instead of undercutting it. But sorry, continue.
With that, I mean, yeah, that's roughly it. Like, would that have necessarily worked? I don't know. I mean, there were some believable reactions of people like, oh yeah. But the thing is, realistically, he's just going up to people and saying, so the plan is Saul. Like, there's not an actual conversation about it.
No.
He's not soliciting opinions. It's just, oh, you guys have heard then, huh? And so, yeah, at that point, it makes for better TV to just let us behind the curtain and know what's about to happen.
Yeah, and even within that, right? He sets it up and he does this scene, and it seems like, you know, like he's having a real emotions, and that like Carolyn and I can't remember who else is there or maybe responding to it. And then the show cuts to his confessional where he's sitting in his new throne because he's on a new beach now, and they still make sure to find one for him. And he's like, I had the crocodile tears and all this. And it's just like, I'm the mastermind. And it's like, oh my God, just so perfect. So a couple weeks ago, last time we talked, in fact, I was just a little down on what other people thought was a really good episode. And I conceded, I think it's probably a good episode. I was just down because like I really wanted Rome to leave at that moment. I had my fill. I was wrong. This is so much better than what that would have been. There's so many people on that island, and a lot of them meeting him for the first time, and all of them are be like, yeah, fuck that guy. It's just perfect. Just amazing.
Yeah. And that really did add an element to it, right? It's just that it's not 4 people or 3 people even that are just tired of this guy. It's like, no. Everybody left in the game met him and was like, yeah, I would vote that guy out. That sounds good.
There was no effort here done, you know, and like we show he's even making moves, and almost like, you know, it starts like, oh God, are things going to work for Rome again? No, all it took was Saul being like, thing is with Rome, you really got to be careful that like, yeah, you verify everything he says, and people are like, yeah, that fits. Right. And from then on.
And the thing is, as soon as the first verification happens, that's it. The dominoes just have started to fall. And at that, there's no recovery. It's just like, oh, okay. So now we all know he's full of shit. Like, it's just the word spreads like wildfire through the whole camp.
Yeah, and I really like that because the episode really underscored that like he did this to himself.
Yep.
And this was very much that everybody was just like, no, you know what? We don't have to deal with that, so let's not. And it wasn't just like a lot of these, you know, not merges and whatever. It's just somebody throws out a name and everybody's like, sure. And there's probably certainly some of that, but there was just so many people being like, yeah, no, I was getting that vibe. So let's just get rid of him. Instead, there was nobody who was like, oh, but I could use that. You know, oh, that would make him a good, person to go to the end with or anything like that. No, everybody was just like, yeah, you're right, man. I don't need that bullshit in my life. And that was really satisfying.
Yeah, I think there's a degree of it, too, that his initial target was probably bad. I mean, trying to steer things towards Kyle and just throwing Kyle under the bus, I'm like, man, if you're trying to throw the golden retriever under the bus, it's, you know, you're not going to get a lot of people on your side. Like, it didn't take much for people to be like, oh, damn, that's right. Like, Kyle, for all of his faults as a Survivor player, he just seems like a adorable little goofball. Like, I don't think anybody is like, oh, man, Kyle's out there talking shit about us. That just, it doesn't.
I mean, Sue was totally in.
Sure.
But
again, when they're all around the well, and it's like some pushback to it, she's like, oh, well, shit. Like, she was primed for it just because he had a vote against her at one point. But yeah, they were just like, oh, no, I mean, Kyle's not a like asshole, though. Like, you know, he wouldn't do that shit. So it was a bad call on Rome's part to initially try to steer it towards Kyle and throw him under the bus.
Which makes complete sense, because the thing about this whole season is that Rome is terrible at this. Rome is only in the game because of the trinkets that he's received. Like, he would have been the easy first boot on his tribe if he didn't have an idol. He would have gone home last time they went to tribal council, but he had the ability to steal a vote, and Teeny had lost their vote. So yeah, like, at no point did his gameplay, unless you count those things as gameplay, but like I'll allow it, I guess, for idols. I will not allow it for show up to the beach and be forced to put your hand in a bag. There's no gameplay there. But no, it was advancing him. It was the sheer like luck of the situations. Everywhere he went, people were like, "Yeah, no, like I would like to get rid of that guy." So yeah, it in his mind though, he's killing it. And it's like, "Oh yeah, I can take out that Kyle guy." I haven't read any of them, but I think somebody shared something about like his exits, and he was like, he thought that like the biggest challenge threats were like himself, of course.
Yeah.
Kyle, Sam, and Tiana. So that's why he wanted to go after them and maybe form something with Sam or whatever. And again, like it's him, it's half bullshit, probably what he's saying. But that's in his mind because that's all he thinks of Survivor as these other things. It's about the masterminding. It's about the idols. It's about the challenges with that he's not actually good at. So he's like, I got to take out the big dogs, and then it's just cake for me. And not even thinking about like the different personality types because he has no conception of what his own personality type is. So yeah, it was not hard for people when it put in the situation of who are you gonna believe, Rome or Kyle? And again, this is day one type stuff for some of these people, and they're like, yeah, no, I think I'll believe that Kyle guy. Like I get a different vibe from him.
Yep. What was your favorite moment of the Rome comeuppance? Because
so many to choose from.
They gave us a lot here. They really did.
It's subtle, but I think this is, and after a whole bunch of stuff already we know. Like I love how they just kept checking in with like almost like seemingly everybody that they're voting with Rome. Like this is where like the 90 minutes really pays off. There's other ways that it didn't even in the episode. It probably would have been a little more thrilling with less time. Again, pacing matters, but like I feel like they checked in like, yeah, Rome. Oh yeah, Rome. Like again, they were never throwing us off here. But it's when it was like right about it's at tribal council, and Jeff is giving some like closing thoughts, and he's like something to the effect, and one of you is going home, and it's a close up on Rome, and the camera does not move.
See, for me, it was Rome saying that this vote was a message that he won the war against Saul. Because juxtaposed with, Saul being the one who basically told everyone, like, Rome sucks and you shouldn't just believe what he says. Like, the very clear scenes, I should say, showing both that Rome thinks he has won the war and how Saul actually won the war. I love that. Just well done by a very professional Survivor editing team.
Yeah, and just like the thing with Kyle, in Rome's mind, he's like, I'm going to set up Saul. I got this guy easy. And it's like, again, these people are just meeting for the first time. Who do you think they're going to believe? Somebody like Saul or somebody like Rome. But Rome is like, no, I'm charming. Everybody loves me. And it's like, nah, not really. Like I don't think he had any conception of how he was received. Throughout if his idol was good for more than a day, I'm sure he would have kept it because he probably didn't know that he was on the outs, Although to his credit, I suppose he knew not to keep pursuing an idol worth more. So maybe he did. It was really easy. Like when they're like, when he tries to put it on Saul, and for one, it's already too late. Saul had already done the work against Rome. They're all like, yeah, I don't know if I buy that Saul is this, troublemaker bully that you're trying to paint him out to be, Rome.
Right, because again, they're going to have their own interactions with him, right? Like they're going to have some form of opinion on him. Also, worth noting, Saul, hey, he looks great for 42. Just he's now throwing
both of them, all the 40-year-olds. My God, look how good we look.
All looking great. Just killing it for their ages, honestly.
So I was saying my favorite moment up until that point, I think, was that just hard underlined by the edit and the camera people. It's like, it's this guy. But then we get Rome voting, and he is just, I don't know, it's the best moment, but it's just the perfect capper that he is so sure that of his plan to everybody's on his side to get rid of Saul. That he doesn't even vote for Saul. Just that's new. We've had a bunch of comeuppance edits, some of which better than this for sure.
Yeah,
but never one where the guy was so sure. And I'm using guy intentionally here. The guy was so sure of his position in the game and what he's done that he's like, my vote isn't even going to be necessary, so I'm just going to do something here. That's just amazing.
It is. And he's like, I'm going to start some chaos. It's like, well, wait until you see these vote totals, buddy. It worked out very well. He really thought he was going to be around to see that chaos too.
Yeah. That was the capper. That was perfect. Just like, oh my God, this guy is such an idiot. And I love it. Again, I didn't love like him as a character throughout. Again, I had reached the boiling point, but I'm so glad that we'd gotten to this point. I will say in this episode, I understand why the show cast him. I bet they did not think about it for that long. Like, he has all the feeling of like, this is going to be a really engaging character. And certainly in some respects he was. But it wasn't quite there. And I think it's just because he isn't good at anything is what kind of held it back.
So
and I think
a fun thing, which because, we're laying it on thick with the schadenfreude, but there was also the moment where he is like, he's so convinced that his Saul plan is working. He's like, I want Saul gone now because I don't want to see his face on the jury for the rest of the game. And it's like, just chef's kiss. Like,
good news.
Yes. I have something to let you know that wish will be granted.
And yeah, this big feud he has with Saul. Only in Rome's world could Saul be this, big problem. And all because Saul is the one person on Lavo who never really pretended to buy Rome's shit.
Right. He called him on his shit, which is the problem.
Yeah. So then in Rome's mind, it's like that makes Saul the bad guy. And obviously some of that was a sell job, but I think some of it was genuine for the way he sees the world in the game. And it's like, no, you're beefing with a 42-year-old man with big mortgage energy here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy that we're not going to have to see Rome on the jury for the rest of the season. So yeah, this worked out extremely well.
I liked Kyle's reaction when he heard about what Rome was doing to him, because that feels like as angry as that guy gets.
That's what a dick. That's the level, right? That's as upset as Kyle gets.
Well, it gets even more heated, and if you're not of the culture, you might not know this. It might not have picked up on it. People at home. So in his confessional, he's like, "Whoa, buddy!" It's like, "Whoa, that is heat.
Oof.
That is heat."
Man.
It's like, "Whoa, buddy." I'm getting froggy.
Oh, when he's getting froggy, that's. Oof. I mean, Kendrick Lamar couldn't.
Oh, he's not like us, but it's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm not your buddy, pal."
He's not Canadian, Andy. Don't try to claim him now.
No, we already have one of those. And that's a different type of subject, but no, that was because again, this is what Rome is in an era where we don't really build villains, and I'll say that's all another reason why this episode, maybe not stacks up, as well as some of the very best, because they don't. He's the villain of the season, but he's not a villain like they've done in the past. I think Jeff and the show have become sensitive to really laying on a villain edit because of people who are insane and don't know how to separate reality from television.
Right.
But he managed to get Kyle that heated. He managed to get Saul that heated. Probably the two most normcore people on the cast, and they're just like, "Oh, that guy." That guy kind of tells me what I need to know.
Right. How do you think this compares? Because we referenced some other Survivor comeuppance incidents. Where we don't have to necessarily rank it, but what's a good comp for it historically?
Yeah, and I will say this one was really fun.
Yes.
And maybe that's part of it, right? That you don't have the rancor of some of like the villains that really went, so then it's more fun. And they gave him his grace moments within, like, he gave himself some grace moments on his exit out. And then obviously there's the bit with Jeff at Tribal Council, which the show isn't necessarily giving him. They don't know what's going to happen. It's spontaneous is how that word is pronounced. And they'd be like, well, they included it. Man, they were never not going to include that.
Right.
So I think like the douchebag episode was more like a fun one. So I think it's kind of in that respect. I'd say that one was a little more fun, probably because I dislike Drew more.
Yep.
Or maybe because he was a bigger idiot about it. But the one thing that's always tough is I'm probably at the point, and I think a lot of our at least commentators, I don't know about listeners, are probably you as well. It's hard for me to rank anything new against some of the stuff I loved as much before.
Yeah, the nostalgia gets involved.
Well, not just nostalgia, is that I think I cared more back then, right? So like now I have a better perspective on things in life, and it's made me generally more enjoyed the show in general. Like I complain less, but it's like it mattered more back then than it does now. So that's part of it. So like it's not the same as like what Randy got in Gabon, which is one of my all-time favorites, but I fucking hated that guy.
Right.
And that comeuppance was very mean-spirited, and I loved it for it. And I know like a lot of Survivor fans have like done a 180 because like he's the cranky, like commentator on the show. And I think a lot of this, especially in like early Survivor internet culture, where like people were just always thrilled that like a Survivor would acknowledge their communities at all, that they like suddenly, oh, Randy wasn't a bad guy. No, that guy fucking sucked.
Yep, he did.
So that one. How about yourself? What else? Before I monopolize it?
No, I mean, you're right. You got to consider that this one was fun. There wasn't anything mean-spirited. And generally, like, when you're having these comeuppance edits, it's got to be someone with, like, extremely unearned confidence or someone exceptionally obnoxious, right? Like, Randy's an obnoxious person. The unearned confidence thing, it's Drew. It's Chris Noble. This guy is not a Chris Noble because Chris Noble...
We can't rap like him.
Exactly. I enjoyed the entirety of the Chris Noble experience. Like,
yes,
he was an absolute himbo, right? Like, he's a total, like, confident puppy dog. Like, he was great to watch. Rome grated on me. I was ready for Rome to be gone. Similarly, so I think the best comp is probably Drew from San Juan. Like, the absolute confidence in his own game. Although I will give you that, Drew was dumber. So I think that's the closest comp you can get to this. But we did, like you said, get some just new little twists on this comeuppance edit that made this one very sweet.
Man, he was so sure of himself that he didn't even cast the vote he wanted. That's special. And that says everything about Rome and why, he absolutely was amusing for a little bit there. And also why the clock had run out on that. Because it's like, dude, you actually sucked though. So that's why this episode was fantastic. It was perfect.
Yep. So we should talk a little bit more too about how when Rome the mastermind is going around with his plan, I kind of hinted at this earlier, but like it never occur to him.
No,
that it didn't. You're right. It's not even a question. That he's approaching these people. Everyone, it just hears one sentence from him and it's like, oh, and it's just going to go along with it. And he's like, man, I convinced all of them. There was never once a conversation. There was never like, oh, why? What's going on? Who's with that? There was maybe one person was like, oh, is everybody on board? Everybody's on board. Oh, well, shit. Okay. I'm definitely not going to verify that with anybody else. Just the absolute balls on this man to assume that it took one sentence from him and he's like, yeah, I got them all. I convinced them all.
That's why you end up just saying, I'll just throw something around for chaos. My next targets, Sam and Kyle, the only people standing in my way for total victory because he's on their level challenge-wise. Is that It was that easy, man. Like nobody even questioned it. And what's beautiful is that a smarter player, and I don't even mean like a true mastermind, just smarter than that, would be like, is this too easy though?
Right. You would think at some point there would just be like just a hint of doubt, like, wait a minute, should it be this easy? I don't know. It seems like there should be some pushback from one person at least.
Like from what we see, and that's all I'm interested in. I don't care if the truth is different. I suspect it's not that different. He's not even all that inquisitive of like, hey, y'all just went and ate a big meal together, like a bunch of you, like 7 of you, the majority of the people here. Did you guys talk about where the vote should be at all?
Right.
No, like in Rome's mind, it's a tabula rasa until Rome decides where the vote should go. That's amazing.
It really
Because
like,
everybody at that lunch, and then of course everybody not at that lunch, knows it's not Kyle. Kyle is immune at that point. So it's like it's never like, what did you guys talk about? What do you guys think? What move do I need to counteract here? No, it's that I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna make it happen because I'm the man. And oh my god, I can't believe how easy it is. And I'll say, like, to his no credit. I don't know what the word I wanted to finish that with. It's kind of how it went for him in Lavo, in that he would say something, and then it kind of went that way for the first vote, because he had an idol, and everybody knew he had an idol. And then he thought that's the way it was going the second vote. And then once he learned that it didn't go that way, he was able to decide that it was Keyshawn because he had 2 votes, So like, I guess for him, it's like, that's how Survivor works. I tell people what to do and then they do it.
and again, no self-awareness to realize that maybe that first vote went that way because everyone knew I had an idol. None at all.
No even memory that actually they had talked him off of Asia and onto Saul, and then off of Saul back onto Asia. No, it was always Asia came at the man and she had to go. Keyshawn came at the man, he had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Saul's been coming at the man and he has to go. So and that's how it goes.
Right. Which again, for me, added to the moment because it's like, really? Nothing. Huh? I mean, you're so confident in how good of a Survivor player you are, and just nothing about that just seemed a little off to you. All right. Cool.
This season started with Rome falling into or almost falling into a well, while everybody else on his tribe being like, where is that dumbass? We should get rid of him, right? And it ended with this. That's pretty special.
I mean, it's quite an arc.
Yes. Arc? Is it really arc? It's kind of it's more like a pass that just stays straight because you throw it hard enough, like a pitch. And it was right down the middle.
So one other thing, I tend to not be like a big Survivor purist person. I'm always up for they're trying something new. Yes, let's see what it is. I'm going to reserve reaction to it until I see how it works out. That said, I did not like that Rome was the first one to sit in Jeff's spot in the chair. Just nope. Didn't sit with me. I'm not like a traditionalist. I don't know why, but it was just like, no. That's not for you. You don't sit there. Someone else is going to do that, not you.
Hey, man, I guess it's the thing. You just got to ask, or and other times just do. But that one you definitely have to ask for.
Right.
I kind of feel like anyone that it would have been like, because it would only be somebody who would have the, ego to ask for it. Right.
That's true.
Like it'd be some Survivor dork who's like, this is my moment. Now it's going to happen. I hope he I hope he shuts it down and shames them in a way on camera. He probably won't. That's not new Jeff anymore. Yeah. But it's like, okay,
Jeff's gone soft.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely has, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
But I don't know that he would clown them the way he would in the past. Who knows? Maybe he'll get frisky. Like, I don't think he didn't, clown them like he did Adam, that little pissant.
Great.
Which
callback.
In there, like, he wasn't even really going for it. It's just the situation itself was so ridiculous.
Very good. I'm hoping that like the next time this happens, it's going to be, like you said, some obsessive survivor dork, and he'll go sit down and just like lock up deer in headlights, just do terribly, and then Probst just roasts him. And he's like, well, anyway, this is why I have this job, and you don't.
That's it. 'Cause here's the thing. I don't think Rome was that interesting as like the Jeff role. I think what he said was good and important, and it was great that Jeff heard it. But I don't know that he really added anything to it by sitting in Jeff's chair than he would have just by sitting in his own chair.
Right. Exactly. It was just the fact that he did sit in Jeff's chair. I was like, oh, I'm offended by this.
Actually, the best would have been like young Rob C, who like was doing that in the deleted scenes or whatever. That might have been the way. But yeah, like I remember like old Jeff would probably clown people for trying to like get him to like call them by a nickname. And then once he relented, and then now people just get to pick their names all the time, which is probably fine. But because like it was good that like, and it was fun to see Jeff in real time process that the cast had realized that the amulets were bullshit.
I think that was another like amazing part of this episode. Like obviously the Rome thing, yes, that was the highlight. But the fact that, we often analyze these things and we talk about like, well, is this going to be a good thing or not? But in real time, to have him find out that his new advantage sucks and people don't like it. He doesn't need Tyler Perry to call him. He doesn't talk to people on the street. He just hears from the actual players in that moment. Like they did not need to digest it and come back after the season and be like, man, that was a dumb twist. No, it has been like 2 days and they're like, yeah, this was fucking dumb. And he's like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Great.
It shows me that he doesn't think that it was a trap. That's like always one thought. It's like the producers are fucking with these people. No, I think they thought like could be really good and let's see what happens. It's like, no, it's not really good. It's bad, in fact. So bad that we're going to burn it. And that was amazing. And then, even it's so bad that even an idiot like Rome could explain exactly why.
Well, I think also meaning Jeff, was hoping that this maybe forces people to work together who otherwise wouldn't have. I think that's how he conceived of this going, right? Like, oh, this is going to make people allies who otherwise might not have been allies. It's, we don't want to end up with a situation where, we had the strong four sticking together and running the whole show. Like, no, now there's reason to go cross alliances and across tribes. Nope, not at all. That was just insane, delusional. Why would you think this?
And I will say, like, I don't think it would ever work that way, but It especially can't work that way when everybody knows about it. And I think in his mind, well, why does everybody know about it? It's because you send them a place. And we know that what happens when you get sent somewhere, something's got to happen.
Right.
And we've had plenty of evidence that like lying about it doesn't really work. So yeah, man. So I hope that that's the end of that. We've only gotten it twice and they did like iterate it. Like it did change. But it's like, this shared shit don't work.
Nope.
This isn't a team sport, no matter the way it looks, And I actually should say, like, even an idiot like Rome can figure it out. Well, I should give him credit in this. Rome seemed to really be able to figure out twists and how to advantage. He's just an idiot when it comes to the people stuff.
Right.
Which is, of course, the main stuff.
The majority of the game. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Did you also, and this again, maybe this is just me showing my age, right? Like, you know how there's like that traditional like anchor voice for like news anchors, right? Like that fake authoritative experty voice. And then there's just like the YouTube-y voice is a thing where it's very unnatural. They're usually loud and just,
hey y'all, what's up? Before we get started here, I need you to smash that like button,
right,
like and subscribe, and make sure you check out my newest candy here on the candy aisle.
Right. Yeah, it's just, I can't stand it. And it's like this fake charm at volume level 10. And like TikTok's got its own whole like fake voicey thing going now with like you fake over laugh at things or you're like some fake intellectual. Like I can't stand that shit. And Rome's got that when he's talking, which makes sense because he's like was esports commentator or something like that. Yeah, of course. So it's just, I think that was part of it too. It's just watching him sitting there and talking. I'm like, I don't like it. It's not my scene. And it could be, I just could be showing my age. I mean, it could be, if I was half my age, I'd be like, this guy's amazing. I love how he talks.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
it's like
probably
whenever my teen is showing me like TikToks, so like a lot of them basketball ones, and it's just like nobody can react to anything normal because why would somebody watch content of normal reactions? It's always
right.
Like screaming,
fall backwards in your chair.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I mean, it was cool and all, but and also, yeah, I'm guessing a lot of these reactions aren't live. This is like, all right, take two.
What?
Yeah. Or, I mean, they very much could be because they know the gig, right? So, like, whatever happens next, I'm going to fucking totally lose my shit. And look, man, you can save the fan mail. I understand that, like, I yell about, like, fake idols and stuff, but I feel like that's not what all I'm doing, And I have the waveforms to do it. John's waveforms generally really consistent, just like a nice medium anchor voice, really, to bring it back.
Thanks. Wow, really tied that one together.
Whereas I'm all over the place, right? Some are like spiking at reds and some are super tiny. I'm also stupid enough to like, I'll lean back in my chair. The mic is here. This is where I should be talking. So It's all over. I get that. And,
a quick aside, by the way, I'm really grateful for AI tools because, man, editing you has gotten so much easier. And I'm just so grateful. I really am.
Is there anything AI can't do?
I mean, how much
create
time you got?
anything of new value? Yeah. No, I can understand what you're saying there with Rome. I didn't enjoy that he was doing. This is why I liked about it. Is it's like, oh man, he thinks he's riding high. This guy's going home, and that's probably another thing. Like my wife was like you, like annoyed, like I don't want to watch him doing this. I don't want him to have this. And I'm like, no. Like he's going home. Isn't this amazing that he thinks this is like this huge highlight of his life, and he's no inkling of what's about to happen to him.
He's just
I feel
away.
like there were people while that was happening having to stifle laughs and smiles, and some of it they didn't because it's like they're laughing with him, right? And they're probably enjoying that part of like making fun of the amulet and Jeff, but also part like, oh man, he has no idea, and that's amazing.
It really is.
Because it's fun as hell to blindside someone.
And speaking of which, one of the people who had saved him not 2 weeks ago, Genevieve, in this episode, just was not putting up any kind of resistance at all to
just so casually tosses him aside. Doesn't bring up the plan. In fact, for a while, I'm like, well, what's Genevieve's reaction? Because she's quiet, and no issue whatsoever. And to that, I say bravo. And also, I have to take back any of my analysis that was like, I don't know that was the right move to vote out Keyshawn because you're still keeping Rome as this lodestone. No, she knew the assignment that Keyshawn was at that moment potentially dangerous to her, but she's like, I'm not committing to like Rome as a partner from here on out. So she grew in estimation in my eyes even more. I actually think now she's in my upper tier of players and getting closer even as a character.
Well, I think the other thing too is that she recognized it. Let's say in some insane scenario, she did want to save him. She at least recognized she does not have the capital to try to save him, right? And at this vote, it's about protecting yourself. Yes.
But she doesn't even warn him or anything like that.
No. I mean, just cut the tie. It's fine. I mean, the only reason to warn him would be if you were going to try to create some sort of counter to it. And I think realistically, she was like, nah, it would be an uphill battle and it's not worth it. I'm not here to save Rome. So, also quick fun Genevieve aside, man, I had so many Where's Waldo flashbacks when she was sitting on the bench after that challenge. She's surrounded by like people covered in mud and she's just in red and white stripes. I was like, I found her.
Amazing.
It's so good.
That's actually a great shot.
It is.
And the bench, she's just perfectly clean.
Yep.
And not so much with the others. Not the shot, not the photo that I went with for this week's episode, but a great shot.
Yeah, the red and white stripe thing really sells it though. It's perfect. Also, when it came to the vote, I said it was basically everyone against Rome, which was true. However, there was a backup plan that did catch 2 votes, and that was Andy. Actually, I think we were only told 1. I don't remember if we were told that
they
Sue...
showed it when they revealed, that Sue.
Right, but I don't know that we were told that Sue was going to do it. We were told
No, I was only expecting the 1, but
right.
It makes more sense. It's better that it's 2.
Yeah, which I guess, when you're playing with that many votes, you're fine to throw away 2.
Because, of course, Rome is going to vote for Saul.
Of course. I mean, why wouldn't he?
Amazing.
So, you think there's going to be some fallout from that?
Potentially, yeah. I think I don't know that Andy has demonstrated himself to be somebody who handles, rejection or failure that well. Like he's gotten better, but it's because things haven't gone poorly for him since then. I mean, like he's still the guy who in this episode was like, everybody else is being measured and you're like, oh, it's a tough thing. And he's like, it was fun as hell, blindsiding Annika. Well, her ally is still right there. You know? So like, I don't know that he's going to be emotionally regulated about this. And yeah,
I see.
He'll want answers.
But that's the thing is I think he's going to be upset that no one told him. Right. Mm-hmm. And he just seems like the guy who needs constant reassurance that he's good, that he's in a good place. And, I think to some degree he was getting that in his old smaller tribe, at least from the 2 people he cared about. And now, if he gets evidence that people aren't 100% with him or that they've abandoned him, he might panic. I think that's essentially what happened the first time. Yeah. I feel like that could be in the next episode, which also, credit where it's due. I think that means Sam had the right read in not playing that idol, right? Like, yes. I think he genuinely Andy would have been freaked out that like, oh my God, well, I'm not in the loop, so good job, Sam, playing Andy and reading Andy correctly. Like, yeah. Now it still could come back to bite him if someone if Rachel does spill that Sam had that idol, but yeah. Still the right move.
Yeah, I now that we're kind of in this, again, it could happen. I don't know that Rachel's looking for a lot of confidential conversations with Andy, so might actually be in the clear on that. And yeah, now Andy can feel betrayed by, of course, Rachel, Sam, and Sierra, but also, Teenie and Carolyn, his, amulet alliance there. Another thing that happened within the time frame, but not in the episode, but it was released as a secret scene. For the challenge, they did do, pick him, and he was the last pick. So
it's gotta hurt.
Yeah, then this, there could be an Andy big spiral next episode. The thing of it is, it's like, well, then doesn't that just make him the next vote? Like, it really might not be that much fallout for anybody involved,
right? Also, I mean, to having gone from it's obviously not on the level of Rome, but like from having gone from like 2 episodes ago, Andy being like, yeah, I got this, I can handle this challenge, and absolutely failing it, to then being the last pick in a schoolyard pick. I mean, it is pretty funny.
Yeah, it shows people were watching, right?
Yeah,
because it's like he profiles as somebody you'd choose early, but nope,
absolutely not.
Now, he's not the reason his tribe lost that challenge, which, getting back to, just the absolute, celebration of all things Rome failure, he was just terrible at that challenge. That ends up being his argument. Like, oh, Saul really made me feel bad. It's like, man, bravo to Carolyn and whoever else is in that conversation. But the easy reaction in their heads is like, maybe you should have been listening to him, though.
Right. Exactly, because I don't know if you saw how you did.
Yeah, but admittedly, also, better than you did on the puzzle.
I was just going to say, but also, it is an improvement from your last puzzle attempt.
But again, we were there. None of us heard Saul bullying you. We heard Saul saying a little, more careful, a little more slowly,
right?
Maybe.
And then also, can we sub him out?
That was good. No.
Jeff was quick with that one too. He was like, no.
And I guess he talked about that in his podcast. And honestly, when I think about it, I don't know that there's a lot of sub outs in those type parts of challenge. There isn't like more like physically stuff like, wow, this person like shooting into targets and all of that. But actually, I do kind of feel like once people are on like those kind of type puzzles, they're on it. So it might be
I don't
legit.
really recall too many. Although actually, now that I say that, weirdly, why am I remembering Worlds Apart of all seasons? That did happen. What a moment. Like, let's erase that memory from my head. Instead, let's focus on the new. And the new this season is that we got a twist to the whole like not a merge thing. All right, so I'm gonna try to diagram this for you because I get that it's new and it's confusing. All right, so here's what happens, Andy. The twist now is that all these people that had been in separate tribes, now all of them are together.
Okay.
It's kind of like all one group or tribe, if you will. But
so like disparate groups have been joined together.
Right. Yeah, like united in some sort of way.
All right.
Yeah, assembled, if you will. Now, in this case, they do it like a team challenge kind of thing, but
okay.
But so you're thinking like, oh, it's teams. No, actually, just the one person though is going to win immunity. It's almost like it's if I had to define it, like an individual immunity. And then,
but you said there was teams.
Yeah. Okay, so here's how the team things work. Like the team that won can then get voted out, except for that person that had that individual immunity. But the team that
so then
lost,
the people that lost,
they can also get voted out.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So everybody, everybody who does not win this challenge, everybody but the individual, in this new joined group of players is vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is like.
And then what happens to everybody who isn't voted out tonight? Where did they go?
Oh, see, this is interesting. So after this, they will form this. It'll be like a merged tribe, which is kind of different.
Merge. I understand merge.
Okay. You understand. So that's what's going to happen next. But that's not this. This is different.
No,
this is like
this is a time when everybody but one person could be voted for, and everybody, but one person can vote.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I think
it's totally different from a merge.
Exactly.
Because
twist.
Okay.
Yeah. You see? It's twist.
Well, I think, and another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, only one of them was wearing a buff.
And see, now you're starting to understand. It's not the same thing. It's like it's a little twist, it's something a little different, it's a new flavor for these new era seasons. You gotta keep things fresh and try things.
Yeah, so, I don't know if I like what they're doing to my mergatory.
No, you don't like that?
I'm a strict traditionalist when it comes to the mergatory.
Yeah.
I believe that, yes, only a few people can be voted for. Looks, maybe sometimes we switch halfway through which the people they are.
Which makes sense.
But this whole everybody can vote for everybody, I don't know. I think it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I'm no purist. I'm willing to give these things a chance. So, well, let's see how this works out. If it's like he said, it's a first. So,
yeah. Look, man, I get it. It's stupid. It's not. It's just a merge. But like we can't talk about it too much, people. Let them have this. Let them think that they've come up with some brand new thing so that we can just be happy with what we've lost.
It's like when the tech bros are like, okay, I got this idea. So like we got to make travel more efficient, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make this vehicle and it's going to be automated. It's just going to go in this route and you could just jump on, jump off wherever you want. Like
just one person?
No. Just like, so people, it's just going to, the vehicle is going to keep moving through this route and you're just going to you got to go to this other place. So you jump on this vehicle, you get off of this vehicle at the other place
while it's moving?
No, it's going to make stops. And then, and so people are going to like, as you're getting off, people are going to get on and vice versa. It's just, it's going to revolutionize like transportation.
You know what I think what happened, and this is just kind of plugging a hole. Like a lot of people, what they just struggle with is choice, right? There's just, you get onto these streaming services and it's like, how do you even know what to listen to? There's just too much choice. So what if instead we had a situation where like there's music playing all the time and people can just check in and out of it when they want?
Mm-hmm.
And like, the way we would pay for it is like there would be ads. And like, I know it's a challenge because people are like, well, they don't know what they're listening to. But then we could have people like talk about what the songs are and maybe, just chat every once in a while.
Yeah, it just make it a little more personal, right? Yeah, someone talking. Maybe they talk about the weather, what's going on.
To get traffic updates.
Oh, shit. That'd be so useful. I think we could get venture capital for this, Andy. Let's pitch this thing. So yeah, it feels like that, right? It's pitching a rehashed idea as something new, and it's not. But we're gonna let them have it. I agree with you. It's just like, absolutely. No, you know what? Because
you guys fucking nailed it this time, Jeff.
Yep. I don't want to hear any more complaints about like, oh, the half of the group was immune and blah blah blah. No, they fixed that. They gave you the thing that you want. Let them call it something different. Let them have that win in exchange for the win they gave us.
And the plus for them is that they didn't have to feed as many people because this show is the fucking cheapest thing in the world.
They gave them I love that they had a reward and they gave them all one hot dog.
Fucking hell.
And they made them cook it themselves.
If you went to somebody's like just backyard barbecue and they're all like just one hot dog, like what the fuck is going on here? Like I might only eat one. I mean, not me, but like in the theoretical, there are people who are only going to eat one. You can't just offer somebody one hot dog.
Exactly. Oh,
no ketchup, no mustard,
nope,
nothing. Oh. Or are they worried? Oh, they're going to get extra calories. They'll just start eating the mustard. Fuck off.
I love where they decide to pinch the pennies. It's great.
Anywhere they can, and it's just this typical lesson of business. And that's why when you get to the end of the year, if you have budget left over, you better fucking spend it because it'll just disappear from here on out. So they proved because of COVID restriction or whatever, it's like, yeah, man, we can do this in fewer days. And guess what? You're never getting those days back.
Nope, you're not.
We don't have to send them. We can't send them anywhere on a pre-jury trip, so we'll just send them home. No, we don't have to do that. Oh, wait. So all that money we've been spending to hotel people and take them on trips and stuff, we don't have to spend it anymore? Never getting that back. And if people don't know what we're talking about, the pre-jury just hangs around Ponderosa until it's time to ship out for the jury, at which point they go home now.
Yep. Whereas they used to go on like a trip so that everybody from that season was returning together. It would give no indication of who might have won that season, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they're not home on social media and shit. Yeah,
nope.
Apparently, things like that get spoiled, which, again, remember that for your edgics.
So one other thing that was kind of new to this season, and it just came back in this episode, we had seen when Sue got that immunity idol, the paint splattered, right? And we saw her she made an effort to cover it up. She buried it.
Yeah, just engaging in some light knife play.
Yeah. As one does, and definitely tells their tribe mates about, because that's a normal human thing to do. But it was yet another cool thing about this episode is we got the group uncovering what the hell is this, and bit by bit they find more and more, and there's more clues, and then you get the light bulb moments and the flashbacks from both Carolyn and Tiana, and just watching their differing reactions, and then everybody else being like, huh, what the, clearly the wheels are turning for everybody there. Two people absolutely deduced what happened, and that was a fucking great scene.
When it first happened, and she's covered in this red, we're just like, what a genius idea by the show.
Yep.
And that's what I'll say, if this season doesn't hit, and I don't so far, again, this was great. We've had some really good stuff. But I'm not engaged with it the same way I have been with others. But I'm still holding out the idea that it could be. But if it doesn't hit, it is not the fault of the on Island production team or the editors. They're all doing just bang up work, just fantastic decision making within the frameworks. Obviously, not every decision's great.
I was going to say we got a whiff on the amulets, but that's okay. You're allowed.
Yeah.
Not
The
everyone
show
bats
iterates.
1,000.
It's good that they iterate and try things. But yeah, like just that idea, and then it feeds into future stuff. Again, seeding some of this other stuff with Rome and Saul, and just that we got more out of, because that was one thing I was bummed. It's like we never got the paint idol from either the other two tribes.
Yep.
But we got this, and now I think it'll come back again. For one, I think like Caroline's like, hey man, this is great. I'm so proud of her. Who knew somebody as old as 45 could really get it done like that?
I would have thought 45 meant she was over the hill.
Yeah. I do like that when Carolyn like is talking to Stu, like, hey man, way to go. And Stu's still trying to be I don't know what you're talking about.
Mean?
Yeah. I don't think Tiana's gonna be that same way.
Nope.
And then I think everybody else is also just gonna be like, okay, yeah. But what about all that paint and the clay thing though? Again, will they like ever figure out Sue? I don't know. But it's now this dangling thread, and it's just fucking awesome. Like that honestly, this might be my favorite way they've done the Beware Advantage yet.
Yeah. I mean, again, like when we saw it, we're like, oh, that's fun. Like I'm interested in seeing how this turns out. Like there was an actual consequence to that, right?
Yeah.
Like it
and so much better stakes than losing a vote.
It is, because it like essentially sounded the alarm, almost literally, because it's making a loud crash.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now you're almost outed for having the idol, which then beware, it's going to put a fucking target on you. Yeah. So, yeah, it was.
But almost outed, not guaranteed outed.
Exactly.
In the way that other things. So, yeah, no. Again, I think they can do it one more time. But, this is the sort of thing that it's like the beware part of it is the acquisition of this could put you in danger. Not like physical, like real, like never that.
No. In-game
scale
danger.
This thing. But yeah, in-game danger, in which case, do you want that heat or not? And yeah, I think what we've learned from the Beware Advantage is almost always the answer is people do want that heat. Not always. Obviously, Andy didn't this season. There's a couple of other examples from the past, but for the most part, players are just going to fucking do it. They're like, I didn't even read the word beware. I like that, like, if we're going to do this with consequences, and I think there's arguments that they should, that it brings a little bit of balance to the force, so to speak, that idols had probably become too powerful. Now they're not. I mean, last season they weren't powerful at all.
Right.
This season we'll see if people actually use the power within of the idol. No, just I'm excited that this could be, obviously if it's nothing more than like returning comedic bits, then it's already good. But I think there's even more to play here.
Also, I think, the way Andy, when he saw that Beware Advantage, like he put one hand in his pocket and the other one was given a peace sign. And,
he's down on that.
Yeah. So having said that, I was trying to think of like what sort of top 3 that we could do for this episode. And I'm thinking, like, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we did have Rome make an NBA reference, right? We talked about like Bird versus Magic and Jordan versus Heinrich, the other legendary matchup. So obviously you and I are big.
Jordan versus Elo, huh? That's something.
I just
contemporary
of all the names to pull.
Rome must be from Chicago, right?
I get, but then also like you're picking. He wouldn't. Why is he playing the same? Are you saying like Jordan on the Wizards playing against? Like, I don't know. What is the scenario now in which they're playing? Yeah. Anyway, having said that, obviously you and I are big NBA fans, so we have to do top 3 Alanis Morrisette songs in honor of our girl, great value, Alanis Morrisette, Genevieve, who just had a moment this week. She saw the buoy out there. It buoyed her game by giving her the advantage in that challenge. And, she's Canadian. We got to honor your people and one of your national treasures. We got to do top 3 Alanis Morissette songs.
Yeah. So a couple things. One, What's really funny about this is, you suggested that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I like the fan mail. And you're like, we got fan mail for this? I'm like, you absolute moron. So, after the last time John and I podcasted, so not last week, so this is 2 weeks ago. Why should I ask her? Somebody wrote in. It's like, I love the Alanis references. That's my other thing I'll talk about in a second. We should do that sometime. And you were like, yes, we got to do this. So when you first brought it up, I'm like, yeah, right. That was always in our back pocket, with one hand. The other one is playing a piano.
Nailed it.
And you're like, you completely forgot why you had thought to do, because you hadn't thought about it before. Before that fan mail came in, you were never like, hey, at some point we should do an Alanis list. And you just completely forgot about it. And the other thing is, it's Alanis. It's not Alanis. As a Canadian, I get to speak to this to authority. Her name is Alanis Morrisette.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're not the only person I've heard call her Alanis, but I don't want to hear it again.
Of all the people to be correcting on pronunciations of names, by the way.
I will say, my wife is very annoyed when you keep calling her Alanis.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm
speaking up for her.
All apologies, Kim, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to fix it.
No. Hey, did you know that she had a pop music career prior to Jagged Little Pill?
I did, actually.
Yeah. Like, those didn't penetrate in the United States at all.
Phrasing.
But yeah, like she was basically she was like Robin Sparkles.
Yes.
Robin Sparkles was, basically. I mean, there was also another Canadian teen pop star called Tiffany, who was more popular.
Yes.
But yeah, that was basically it. And like, I believe my sister had one of Alanis's, and she just tried single naming it. Cassettes, they were bad, not good stuff.
Right. And I think, it kind of reminds me of the like Colombian version of early Alanis Shakira, who similarly had went like very poppy and then went through sort of a Jagged Little Pill phase and then just fucking blew up, as did Alanis. Look at me. I'm really trying with the name. In fact, first of all, I'm a big fan. I love that shit. Love Jagged Little Pill. Listen to that shit all the time. Also, I don't think I'd mentioned this before, but I actually could have gone to her concert this summer, but I happened to be on vacation, and I was like, shit, I really would have wanted to go, because like I'm envisioning me and a bunch of suburban moms just living it up. Oh my God. It would just been me and all these like tattooed ladies were just throwing back the frosé, it's just what a vibe.
Thank you, disillusionment.
Exactly. I'm really disappointed I missed out on that moment. It would have been great.
Yeah, what I like about Alanis' music is because it was the 90s, because it was that time, she gives the appearance of like the ironic detachment of the time, but truthfully, there's no detachment. She is incredibly, uncomfortably sincere, and that is what makes her great.
And
also, what makes her great is just a complete and utter disregard for how many syllables should be in any meter of song. And I mean that unironically.
I agree. Again, we've discussed many times on these things, like there are parts of songs that make no sense, and we're like, no, that has to be in there because, yes, on an island, that shit's terrible. But as the part of the greater whole, it's perfect. It needs to be there.
My favorite Alanis move is when she has to make a single syllable word multisyllabic, because this is like, I'm not going to change the name of the person. It's got to be, just amazing. Amazing stuff. All right.
She's an artist.
How would you kick things off? What's your
number 3? So yeah, number 3 for me, I'm envisioning this, like I was making my playlist of like this Alanis concert that I would have gone to, and I can see myself in the crowd, and like she's gonna start off with You Oughta Know, and me and the suburban moms at this concert were like, yeah, fuck that guy, and we're getting all fired up, and they're telling me about the worst guy they ever dated, and like, yeah, and singing along and screaming, and it is great. So You Oughta Know, because it's got that hard edge that she's going to start off with, before she
quiet, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
So,
like the lights are coming up, but I gotta tell you, there's no way you lead off with that song.
but listen, this is I have to make a top 3, and I wanted to create a storyscape. Andy, come
Gotcha.
on.
Yeah.
I'm a podcaster.
This is like radio, but not. So my number 3, I'm going with Head Over Heels.
Or head of her feet, if it were, as it were.
That's it. That's
the
thank
one.
you. You know, when I was writing heels, it didn't feel right, and that's
Nope.
because it was wrong.
Yep. That would be why.
Be it. My number 3 song. Don't even know what it's called. I do. I just wrote it down wrong. Yeah, I mean, a lot of her great songs, the one you just mentioned, are like bitter songs, breakup songs. This one's just a pure sweet love song, and it really works. I'll say Jagged Little Pill in general, but this song especially really makes me think of this. The summer came out, and this girl that I had this huge crush on, and she used to play it a lot in when I'd be in her car. And so I was listening to it just today, and it really makes this day with. I did the classic move, just never fails of sliding in as a friend, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll soft launch as a friend, and then make it happen.
Sure.
Just the dumbest fucking idea.
100% of the time works every time.
Yeah. And then that's when fucking bullshit guys would be like, she shoved me in the friend zone. That's not what happened here at all. I shoved myself in the friend zone. And like a fool, she believed that I was being genuine, and thus developed the relationship that way. Now, there's a caveat that I believe she was dating a guy when I did that. So, like a fool I got burned by my own dirty macking schemes as well. So it was a day when we went out kind of a road trip to the beach, me and then a friend and her friend's boyfriend. And this is the day, man. I'm gonna do it. So, and maybe just hopped up on the feeling of Head Over Feet, the lyrics. So, yes, so she drops me off, and I finally confess. And, I think you know how well that went.
Yeah.
Just context clues probably tells you. Did not make that happen.
Yeah.
I imagine that.
So perfect that you made that your number 3, because that's actually my number 2. And, we're at that concert, and me and the Suburban Ladies, we're like 3 frosés in, and we're reminiscing. It's such a sweet song. It's just like Alanis is calling me her best friend, but also like a little wink because she's reminding me that we're banging. And then, she's going to play harmonica for some reason, and we're all fine with it. We're like, yes, harmonica. I love harmonica. This should definitely be in this song. It's like beautiful start to finish. And I mean that unironically. Don't remove the harmonica from that song, even though I don't want to hear a harmonica again in my life. It works in the context of that song.
Yeah. Like, I should note, I've already made several jokes about Alanis' style. I thought about Unsent, which is just a bunch of lines that aren't music at all. It's just but much like her song, I'm not being ironic. I unironically love that about her. I love that she, it's like, I'm just gonna, write about how all these past relationships. I actually think it's a really great song, but it's clear that she writes her lyrics first and then figures out the music second, which is not the way most music is made. And that's why, it fits so awkwardly together at times, but still fits in just a uniquely Alanis way. So for number 2, and I actually considered this for number 1, but I'm going with Hands Clean. From her 2002 album. So now we're out of the 90s. In many ways, this is like a spiritual successor to You Ought to Know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it if you're just listening to it at a surface level. Surface level, it's kind of one of her poppiest songs. And even the chorus, the runs she goes on, it feels even like kind of slicker, and I think got a little heat for that, even though she wrote this one completely by herself. She didn't go to some pop hit maker. When in truth, it's actually incredibly dark. So I'm not going to get into it because I kept thinking about how I could get into the full content of the song, and it's all awkward. But if listen to what it's really about, and know that many Alanis songs. God damn, you got me.
Yes. I'm converting people.
It's autobiographical, but it also, the key to what makes her music great is it strikes a chord, a specificity of feeling that people can see, other situations in there. So,
and unlike another Canadian who's trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
Well, that gets into what this song is about.
So, number one for me, like, you know, it's kind of like when we did our tribe list, right? Like, I could give you deep cuts because I liked her stuff a lot. But why would I not pick Ironic? You think me and the drunk ladies aren't just like singing along with this entire song? Like, you know,
are you sipping Chardonnay at that point?
Oh my God, the suburbs
but hoping there's no bug in it.
They're fucking lit. Yeah, exactly. And like we got all these fucking spoons, and what we needed was a knife, Andy. And it's just we're loving it. We're just like falling all over each other, like slurring through words, singing along. And we're like, yes, this sounds like irony, absolutely. And then people are looking at each other like, it really is ironic though, but it's not. It's not.
Do you know the Jagged Little Pill sold 30 million copies?
Yes, I was one.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Again, if you're not our age or older, you have no conception of what that is. 30 million copies of a physical item, not a whole bunch of streams that will pretend adds up to that. People forked over real money.
Yep.
15.
I was gonna say it was like $15. Yeah.
And we're happy with it. There was probably like 6 singles off of that thing.
There really were. It was
so,
all bangers.
Yeah.
So good.
So my number ones, you ought to know. It's obvious, but it's true. And like, is there any song in history, and I even include ones written and performed by Tupac, that just have that level of venom dripping off every line? Like even the quiet intro. I wish, like every fucking word is just the knife that she needed when she had all the spoons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's just still fucking, like, I understand not putting it number one because you've probably heard it like 11 billion times.
Yep.
But yeah, I was cranking it. Like I was out on the highway today. I had, going somewhere and I fucking was cranking it. It's like, it just fucking rips.
I mean, and it's the most like quintessentially like 90s alternative Alanis song too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing I was thinking is like, man, people just aren't doing it. I thought this and then I did dial it back, but like, I wish there was more music like this still.
Isn't that like what?
And maybe there is. Right?
I was going to say, isn't that a
because
Taylor
how
Swift
much
thing?
of no, but it's not the same.
No?
Like, again, I'm not even opposed to Taylor Swift, and yeah, she does songs about exes and all of that. But like, she does care about meter, Yeah. She doesn't have. She's done a few, but not the same level of anger. Like, I mean, they could thank you and like that. It's like probably a little inappropriate with that and like another song I can't remember. Like just kind of maybe cultural appropriation, even sometimes. But it doesn't matter. Like the Alanis just did things and just went for it, and like some of it is so 90s, right? Like
yes.
that getting crystals from the store type philosophies, but none of it was like calculated to sell or anything. Like there was just such a genuineness about her. And again, maybe that's out there. Like I haven't listened to it enough. Maybe that's Chappelle Roan until like, her fans turned on her. But it's just, again, yeah. And I kind of just talking my ass because how much modern music do I
exactly?
Do? Let's be real. But I mean, for one, like rock music's largely dead, so that's a thing too. I don't know. So those are my 3, but there was a lot of other ones that I considered. I enjoyed listening to Alanis today. So please, everybody, share your lists as well.
And you're going to really out yourselves as like at least 35 plus if you're excited about this list. Like,
I hope that the young people have discovered her. Like she's gone out and like sang with like Olivia Rodrigo in shows and stuff. So hopefully, like if you're into that, there you go. Maybe that's just it. I'm just not listening to young people music, so I take my take back. But
all right, let's see.
And
maybe the youths have some other suggestions for us. So I'll listen to them.
Yeah, that's okay. So your top. This is the assignment. Your top 3 Alanis songs. Number 2. I'll push back against my assertion that nobody's out there doing it like Alanis anymore and tell us who. And 3, I want you to phonetically tell us how you pronounce this name. I want to get a sense.
Put it up to a vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think we like lost all our widgets for voting, but yeah, just in comments, either a la, I don't know. You figure out how.
No, you know what?
Like I'm saying it versus honest.
No,
But,
I know exactly how this is going to go.
Honest, I
Someone, and I'm applauding this person in advance already. Someone's going to text us, and it's just going to say Alanis. That's it. It's just going to have it's going to be spelled out ALANS, and that's it. And it'll be like signed, Joe from fucking Podunk Town. I don't know.
And like nobody has to like out themselves, so like where they live. But I'm gonna see like I know a lot of the Canadians within our commenting group. I hopefully you're all on my side. And again, like this isn't like I've heard her like announced and like she went inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. It was as Alanis Morrisette. I know I'm right. So,
all right. So yeah.
Speaking of the fan mail, yeah, like we got one where it's like, is it worth watching? And I'm like, well, I mean, presumably, if you're going to hear us respond to your question, you stuck around to watch,
right? I think
unless they're like listening to our podcast and not watching, my answer would be yes. This season is worth watching.
I think we should also we should clarify. We can't text you back. I feel like I've said that before, but we cannot text you back. We can only receive your texts. That's it. All right,
probably enough for this week.
Let's wrap this thing up, Andy. Let's hit some theme music. We got a little, a nice little bonus theme music this week from our buddy Mike Hirsch.
Let's hit it.